meeting Riri Williams, Ironheart.
Yes.
Will they not get along at first? Because when they first met Spider-Gwen,
Yeah.
they kind of got
There was
into
a little bit of friction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be similar.
Unlike much programming, most women actually get along when they meet for the first time. And actually, Squirrel Girl loves Riri because she's also this scientific wonder genius who's really capable of using tech and her powers to fight crime, make the world a better place. You know, superhero stuff.
So they're gonna be friendly. It'll be friendly.
Well, you'll watch.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So the whole thing starts off with Squirrel Girl kind of getting the whole gang in trouble by chasing after Captain Marvel a little bit. So can you talk about the antics of Squirrel Girl in general and how you brought that into your character and voice acting?
In general, I think Squirrel Girl is a huge fan of things, which all of us here at WonderCon do. But yeah, I think whenever you're kind of like mindlessly making someone a god, things slip under the rug. So that's a little bit of what I meant. But the way that I bring that to the table is I am a clumsy mess of a human, and that comes through in this character.
Don't you think Squirrel Girl would be needed in Endgame? Because in the comics, she beat Thanos. So
I'm well aware.
right.
So
they should bring you into Endgame. You're going to be in Endgame, right?
Who do we have to talk to? How do we rally the internet to make this happen? Hashtag Squirrel Girl the movie. Just kidding.
We can run across the street and talk to Kevin.
Yeah, is he here?
I don't know, probably.
How familiar were you with the Squirrel Girl character before you were voice acting?
Well, before I was voice acting, we made a live action Squirrel Girl thing, so a lot. So very, very familiar. Yeah, I've read most of the comics. Ryan Murphy, the guy that's been writing those recently, is a genius comedic writer, and so I love reading them for the laughs. And that's the thing that always brings me back to comics. Even in film, like even superhero films, I'm most attracted to the ones that have the most comedy in them because I am a comedy person. So yeah, I love it.
I just think it's cute because Squirrel Girl and Marvel and Miss Marvel are best friends because we're both fangirls in general. So I think it's super
But isn't that like what brings so many of us together here? Like people have met their lifelong partners at these cons because of the bond of fandom. It's a beautiful thing.
She's smiling because she's won.
Was your one? Did you meet your partner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did you guys get married at a time?
We're going to. Shut up. We're going to each other. He's been giving me shit. That's why. Thank you. Anyways,
Did you ever get to see a finished version of the New Warriors pilot? Could
Can't
we?
talk about it. Don't kill me.
Well,
I would love to see it someday.
This is my frozen smile.
Well, I want to ask you about this because you're an immigrant yourself,
Yeah.
and you're now living the American dream. What's it like coming from, another country, having to learn another language, lose your accent on top of it, and then become an actor over here?
I don't think I had it quite like that. My family moved here when I was 2 years old, so I was kind of learning to speak English at the same time as I was learning to speak my native tongue, which is Russian. And we just, made it work. I think immigrants, they get the job done. They're super resourceful, and my parents gave me everything they possibly could. My mom worked nights as a nurse while taking me to auditions as I was a kid. So just, everyone worked their butts off to make sure that the next generation had everything they didn't. So, it does feel really nice now to be able to talk about Uzbekistan because nobody ever does. So it's a lot of pressure, being brings it up. But it's nice. It's fun.
What's the biggest challenge in voiceover for you?
The biggest challenge in voiceover work for me Honestly, it's a dream. But I don't find it very hard. I find it to be a joy through and through. I love showing up and not having to care about the vanities that come with being on TV. Not that I don't love getting dolled up, but for that to be a prerequisite to do your job, it can be distracting, to say the least. But just to show up and use your full imagination to create the world is so fun. And then to see how what you brought to it when you're picturing this whole world, because a lot of the times the animation is done after we do the voice. So I've imagined this whole world and my relationships and what my co-stars look like, and Tiffy, and my powers, how my powers manifest in me. And then to see what I brought to it mixed with what the animation team has brought to it is doubly fulfilling. It's honestly it's a breeze. I don't find it hard. Sorry.
When you're recording, are you recording alone or are you all together recording?
Both. Sometimes we're all together. Most of the time we're alone. And as nice as it is to meet everybody, sometimes it's just great because our directors are so good. They are very good at painting the picture of what other people have said, so that it doesn't feel like you're in it by yourself. They're very good at building the stakes so that you are fully informed even when you're recording by yourself.
Now, being the comedic performer primarily, or at least that's what you're known for, when you do the group records, how difficult is it not to start riffing and ad-libbing along with the scripts?
I do ad-lib.
Okay.
I think there's really nothing that's a bummer about this job. I feel like a lot of times when we do interviews, people are like, so tell us the truth, what sucks? But this isn't The Bachelor, there's no drama.
How do you feel that you're bringing Squirrel Girl to a generation of young female fans?
Oh, it's the best. I feel so lucky to be doing what I'm doing at this time. I wish Squirrel Girl existed when I was a kid. I wish that there were even more comic book heroes that weren't, first of all, weren't exclusively men. And there were some, but there were few. But the ones that did exist were very serious. And I never was, So it's just so nice to see that you can both kick butts, eat nuts, and be a joker, just have the time of your life while you're doing it. So the levity of Squirrel Girl and her efficiency are two things that I strive to be more like in my life. So having that role model as a kid would have been really helpful.
Since this is the second Marvel Rising, have they told you about the next one and
They have.
And who your characters will meet
We're
next?
gonna announce that
Uh-oh.
today.
Well,
Suspense!
that's
I
a
gotta
good,
go.
that's a good
Thank you.
teaser.
I'm just going to keep it running. Oh, you love it. Hi, how are you?
So I'm just gonna really quick sip.
All right.
Go for it.
And then could you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Kat Carr, and I'm in Marvel.
I can say Miss Marvel is one of my favorite characters in terms of the younger generation. So how is it like voicing the character?
It's super fun. I love Ms. Marvel. I've been with her for 5 years. I've lost 4 years. And she's just, I feel very close to her. Every time they call me in, I'm excited to do it. So I feel blessed to be that close.
I gotta say I love your earrings.
Thank you.
And bringing in Riri Williams into this story, so what is it like with her and Miss Marvel? What's their dynamic like, you think?
Well, first of all, Sophie is just, in real life, just a very awesome, beautiful person. So being able to get to know her and interact with her, she's just so sweet and lovely. But I think Riri, like the rest of them, is also trying to figure things out. And it's, she's a little bit more of a rookie than they are. But Kamala understands how that feels because she still has those same doubts too. So, I think you're going to be seeing sort of a lot of mirroring of emotions.
how much of your personal life comes into the character? Because the character is a bicultural character. You know, you have the one foot in the old world, but you're still not fully from Central Asia. The character is born and raised in America, but still not fully American. And now on top of that, has to deal with having superpowers and then keeping another secret from her family on top of that. You know, how much of that plays in from your own real experiences into the character?
I mean, so it's just the parallels between me and Ms. Marvel are, I'm also first generation American, parents from the Middle East.
Mine too.
Okay, cool. From where?
Yeah, Iran and Lebanon.
Oh, cool, yeah. I completely understand all the struggles that Kamala has with being in a new culture, trying to teach her parents the new culture. Her parents struggle with, wanting to keep things the old way. I don't have any superpowers, but I definitely have to keep my desires of wanting to be a performer, which isn't quite as noble. But I bring so much of my own experiences into this, and I really understand her. Reading the comic books, there's so many times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, the same thing's happened to me, or I totally know what she's talking about. And that's really cool for me because it's not that much of a stretch for me to understand where she's coming from and understand what she wants.
In future episodes, because the first 8 have already out and the movie was come out. If they do any of the bilingual aspects and throw in words for the character from her native tongue, do you get to correct the pronunciation, or they wouldn't say it this way in the script and sit with the writers?
So I'm Iranian, so I
okay.
don't get to do that.
Okay.
But
So not no Urdu, yeah.
Sana's really, she's Pakistani, so she's able to guide that conversation. But I have friends that I refer to make sure that I know that I'm saying it properly.
Okay. Well, Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Can you talk a little bit about the significance of having a diverse group of young women superheroes leading something like Marvel Rising?
I mean, I think everyone would agree that it's of the utmost importance to have those kinds of characters out there for everyone to see. I mean, we didn't grow up with that. I certainly didn't grow up with anything like that. And just, the fact that these girls are also scientists and engineers and, these concepts that, when I'm watching it, I'm like, whoa, that's so, and it shouldn't be this way, but it's so surprising for me to see that still. And it's just exciting that that's, shaping a new generation in a really, really progressive way, I think. And I'd love to see more of that. I think there needs to be, Marvel Rising is doing an amazing job of doing it. I think there needs to be all across the board.
What has been your favorite part about recording for this movie?
Well, my favorite part about recording is always being with the actors, because they're all just so lovely and supportive and loving. It's talented. And I think for this particular movie, this is kind of one of the first times that you see the superheroes come together and try to figure things out and figure out their own dynamic together. So seeing that teamwork is fun. It's fun to watch.
Kat, what about more movies for Disney Plus, and then a series for Disney Plus as well for the Marvel Rising characters?
I mean, can you make that happen?
I will ask Court Lane.
Yeah, no, that would be incredible. I would love to see that. I mean, just watching it the other day, I was like, I was imagining myself being a child watching this, and I was like, this is so crazy and so cool. Like, this is nothing like what I had. And it made me so happy, and it would be cool to see that continue.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you the ultimate Iranian question.
Oh boy.
Mercedes or BMW?
Prius.
Oh, okay. Hey, I drive American, so it's all right. Thank you so much. I didn't get a chance to ask Melania if she had to give up her AT&T phone because Disney has an exclusive contract with Verizon.
She's well, I don't think she has to.
Totally missed that.
I know. Hey, how you doing, man?
Do you mind introducing yourself and your character?
Camille McFadden, and I voice the character Patriot.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
thank
Captain
you.
America's grandson.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that feel like? You know, to sit there like I'm the patriot. You know, you got Grandpa's shield. You get to
Yeah.
voice this great character,
Yeah.
this beloved character, who should have taken over for Steve Rogers as Captain
Yes,
America,
yes,
but there's
yes.
still time. You know?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I am grateful, humbled for the opportunity and the experience. I know the history of the character. I've done my research. So for him to be the grandson of a Captain America, I think is super incredible, and for me to be the first interpretation of him, I think is definitely an honor. I'm glad that they were willing to give him to me to breathe life into. I am just so grateful. I'm excited for people to see more of him. As the seasons go on, I hope to make him more grounded, and just for him to have more levels. First season he was really very a stickler by the book, so really just to him really operate in that gray area a lot more, like, and be a little more human, less
Right.
robotic, less by the book.
What's it like getting that phone call to be the first teen black superhero for Marvel on a cartoon?
It was incredible. I was super pumped, super excited. I hugged my mom, jumped up and down, and then I was like, all right, so when is my first day of work?
Did you run around and get a flag jacket and everything?
No, I didn't go that far. But no, it was a great experience, and to have a doll and things like that was incredible. Who doesn't want to be a superhero as a kid? So this is something that I could check off my list finally.
Nice.
Have you ever, or would you ever cosplay as Patriot?
Absolutely. This is my first round of the conventions. I think next year I am going to come and actually invest in doing cosplay, because I've been thinking about it, and I think I have to do Patriot as my first one, just
Awesome.
because I voiced the character. How could I not?
Exactly.
Now, with the history of everything that's going on,
Yeah.
how do you feel doing the pressure, to bring this character?
I definitely felt a little pressure at the beginning, just because I think I had only done like 2 or 3 sessions, and then I got my first comic convention invitation, and the questions that some people asked me, I was like, ooh, I don't know that. I should do some research so that, when asked these questions, I could give a little more insight. So I think once I got over that initial interaction, the pressure kind of went away. The more that you do something, the easier it gets. So now I'm cruising.
Question 3. Well, just kind of curious.
Definitely. Oh, there was one about how dark the show could get, and involving him getting addicted to what is it? What do they call that? The super.
The super
Soldier
soldier.
serum.
Yes, the serum. I was like, whoa, that's dark. I don't know a lot about it. So I had to, after that question, I was like, okay, I gotta do research.
That's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut, and I was just saying, I just don't feel that it'll get that dark. Maybe not. Maybe they'll branch off and do a darker version, but I told them, I'm pretty sure we're gonna keep it light.
That'll be the Hulu Marvel Nights, dark,
How did
dark
you
Marvel
see
writing.
Riri Williams, Ironheart joining the group, and what's their dynamic like together?
They relate because of the lone wolf mentality. Season 1, he really relied on himself. He didn't really trust a lot of people. She's the same way. She only trusts her AI, Amy. So I think that having that common ground is easier for her to let her guard down, and to really see that if he can do it, he came from that lone wolf mentality, and now he is operating in this team, and you see the friendship and the trust. If he can do it, so can I.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. And it's crazy because what I'm realizing is that it's a parallel for a lot of the characters. Dante's the same way, so to have all of these characters have that common ground it's a great foundation for all of them to kind of grow and move forward.
What's been your favorite part about bringing this character to life?
I think for me, it's definitely playing a character having traits that I don't necessarily have. So like that stickler by the book mentality is not me. I am willing to do whatever is necessary in a reasonable fashion. But him, like he was very like by the book, very strict. And now he's operating in that gray area. So now he's getting into familiar territory for me, So I think the cool thing was operating in a unfamiliar territory at the beginning, and slowly, gradually coming into what I'm familiar with.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who we got next?
Sophia Wiley and Court Lannis would be the last two. Whoever we get next of those two.
I'm heartbroken I didn't get to ask that AT&T Verizon question.
She would she'd probably
Interrupt somebody else's round table.
It's really important.
You gotta have a little fun.
She'd probably be able to have whatever phone.
I know.
I would think.
Yeah. Well, Paul had that no compete for like 15 years when he left Verizon. So.
Now, how do you say? Is it Gal Gadot or Gal
Gadot.
Gadot?
Yeah.
She had
the whole iPhone Samsung debacle.
She was a spokesperson.
Because it was so ridiculous. That's
she
why.
was a spokesperson for a phone when in her real life, off screen, she uses a totally different type of phone.
Yeah.
And then like a tech guy called her out on it and then blocked it.
Well, no, because it blew up because it's like, oh, here promoting whatever phone it was, but Apple marks that it was sent from an Apple phone on Twitter, and so, so they got called out for it.
What, was it Huawei or what was she?
I don't remember what it was, but for
promoting-
some reason this story got out of hand, and I was like, only in America would we care about this. It was like 8 months ago, 9 months ago.
It was some months ago. Yeah. So she was like she was sponsored by like a phone company to promote like a mobile device, and then she was caught like texting from an iPhone or something. From a different whatever.
I'm too busy keeping track of the K-pop stuff right now.
I mean, look, she's getting paid to be the face of them.
I can only focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, just one thing at a time.
That's because you're one of those people that bought tickets and then camped out for that concert.
I'm not camped out. But I couldn't afford to see it.
That whole band with like 17 initials in their name. We're like, oh, kid. I'm like, that's cool. People are still camping out for concerts to buy tickets. They're like, no, they already have tickets. And I was like, I wouldn't camp out for anything.
I want to hear how you met your soon-to-be spouse at San Diego.
It was like 9 years ago. So we met at San Diego Comic-Con waiting in line for David Tennant.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's so cute.
I know. That's why he's teasing me. Because, like,
That's why we're live streaming it right now.
It's a great story, though.
Yeah.
And like you were waiting for like a good thing. It wasn't like you were
You
waiting.
shouldn't
for
be embarrassed about that.
No,
Right.
I'm not. But he's been teasing about me. That's
Yeah, but I've known you for like 7 years, so I can tease you about anything at this
The
point.
funny thing is, like, I had just got over a guy, and I was like, screw guy, I'm gonna have fun, screw it. And I was like way more outgoing than I usually am. And then we were in line, and I thought, what is this biker dude doing in line? Because he's totally like muscular, and he thought I was young. I'm actually older than him.
Oh.
So it was I don't know, it was like the year that Twilight went. So there was a guy that
See,
called
at
outside.
least you waited to meet the Doctor Who guy, not the Twilight cast.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he used that. as
I
an excuse to
remember
talk.
the Twilight years at Comic-Con. Those
Yeah. Do you remember the guy holding the sign up that said Twilight Ruined Comic-Con? He was just walking around a cardboard.
I wish I saw that.
Yeah, because he put up at the door, and then he knew what Twilight was. And he was like, so what's up with Twilight? And I was like, oh, let me tell you what's wrong with Twilight. And he knew I was going to fangirl. And that just...
I remember a Doctor Who panel where a kid held up a sign that said, "Would you sign my doll?" And then security grabbed it and ripped it away from him. That was...
Was it a little kid?
He was not like little,
okay.
like I would say like 12 or 13. Like like early teen, and it was the Q&A for the panel. So it was like, it was Matt Smith.
Well, let's give an overview.
Clara.
While we're waiting for our next interview.
Yeah,
I did not like
Clara
her.
Oswald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
So I think it was one of those seasons in. Had a dollop with him. Tried to get it. He wanted the actors to sign it, and security shut him down.
Oh, that's great.
Because you're technically not supposed to ask that during the Q&A.
I guess if they said
Whatever. Everybody asks whatever they want.
But-
I know, right? They always change their questions right when they
But
get
the
up.
visual was just like it was dramatic. It was
That's
dramatic.
It's pretty upsetting for like a little 12-year-old.
Movie magic. Just run to the press room and grab a cup.
I drink fake coffee.
Was it? They have decaf. Fake coffee is fake coffee.
So wait, I'm sorry, I'm going back. So are you getting married at San Diego Comic-Con?
No.
Okay.
We just moved in with each other. And then we're gonna get married.
Gotcha.
Mazel
I was
tov.
like, how are you gonna do a wedding?
You know, I got ordained online. I can do it for you.
What?
I said I got ordained online. I can do it for you.
I'm getting married twice now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He has to like propose first.
Well, so wait, you're having a Thai wedding with this giant Russian that doesn't talk. Okay.
What? My mom did it. Oh my God. But we're not in a
Comic-Con doesn't
And it's
do
really
like a speed dating thing.
So it's good
Some
to-
of them do.
I know I've been to other cons where they do like a speed dating like thing. I'm just surprised. I mean, Comic-Con is so big. I've never heard of them doing anything like that.
Gedot.
Or anybody
Gedot.
doing
Yeah.
I know the
I used to think it was
Godot.
Godot.
Yeah.
Like waiting for
like
Godot.
this. It's like a geek speed dating.
Godot.
thing.
Like
yeah.
a long.
Yeah, and a short T. Yeah, sharp
I
T.
can't remember if it was San
Yeah.
Diego or Long Beach, but I know he's done
Yeah.
one.
Because like whenever I like talk about her, I don't know how to say it.
Hello, how you doing?
I love your jacket.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. This is so incredible. I'm so happy to be here. Could I
How-
have you introduce your name and your character, please? So hi, my name is Sophia Wiley, and I play Riri Williams.
So what was your reaction when you found out you were going to be playing Riri Williams, Ironheart?
It was definitely, my stomach dropped and my heart exploded. I was so excited. I mean, Marvel has always been a very big part of my life, and Iron Man is such an amazing character that I've always loved. And so once I really got educated on who Riri was, I realized the amazing fan base that she had through the comics, and so I was so excited to be able to bring her to life through animation.
Camille earlier mentioned that, you know, she has sort of a bit of a lone wolf thing going on and likes to do things on her own. So how do you like getting to play the dynamic where she's getting brought in to part of a group and working with others and having to learn that she doesn't have to do things herself all the time?
Well, I think through my own experience, or just through everybody's, you always can relate to that feeling of being outside of something, going into a group that's already established, and feeling that horrible dread of, oh no, I don't belong. And I think that's what Riri has felt for a lot of her life, and also through the loss of her stepfather, I think that really closed off her heart to make new connections. So that was a big part of her learning through the Secret Warriors, that it's okay to be a part of a team and to have strong relationships with people, because it's so much harder to try to go at it alone.
What has the fan reaction been to you? I mean, you
The
know,
fan reaction has been amazing. I mean, I wanted to. I was a little worried because I knew that Riri was already such an amazing, iconic character. So I was like, how do I bring her in everything that she represents on screen in the best way I possibly can? But also, I can't put all of that pressure on myself. I have to do the best I can, and I think everybody that hasn't seen Hard Iron yet will really love her just as much as I do.
And what about younger black girls when they see the cartoon or hear your voice and finally get to meet you and how they react to it? Because, I mean, there's so very few female black characters. I mean, Monica Rambeau back in the 80s, and that was about it for the longest time.
Yeah, I think the great thing about Riri is that she doesn't only represent young black girls, but she represents everybody who has felt like they haven't been represented. And that is a big thing for every character in this whole show, is that they represent somebody who is out there that hasn't felt represented, or maybe who has, just sees a little bit of themselves in the characters. And that's very important for me to be a part of that and to help people feel inspired and know that they can do anything because they're seeing these characters that look like them or act like them do everything they want to do.
Is this your first WonderCon or Comic-Con with a project?
Yes,
So-
this is my first ever con in general, so this is like incredible.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
So how does that feel?
It feels so amazing. I mean, of course, I've always heard of WonderCon and Comic-Con, and it's weird to be in the position of the person being interviewed. I've always seen it from the view of the audience. So being able to be in this position is really humbling, and I feel very privileged.
As you're doing your character, did you get interested in STEM, like as you're portraying Riri?
I value my education a lot, but maybe I'm not as involved in what Riri is, I guess, through technology. But it has been incredible because some of the things that she's talking about, I'm learning about in school, and I'm like, oh wait, I actually know what I'm saying now. But I did have to do a lot of research on really what I was saying, because of course it doesn't come across well when you're saying things that you don't understand. So I think I learned a lot from just reading the scripts and getting to educate myself on that.
What can you tell us about the relationship or working relationship between Riri and the rest of the team?
Yes, well at first, Riri still is in that mindset of no one can get to me, I can't make these relationships ever, and the Secret Warriors are just these amazing team players who are so welcoming and inviting, and so at first it's this kind of battle of, no, you're not going to win me over, this isn't happening, I'm not going to create these relationships, and then eventually I think they teach her a lot about teamwork and friendship, and how that is so important to just live your life, to have those people that support you and help you.
How is the voiceover acting preparation different than your live action preparation?
It is very different, but also very similar. I didn't. That was one of the things that was very new to me, was how they cross over so much, but also how different they are, and just all of the different parts of them. Voiceover, you have to find a way to portray all of your emotion just through your voice, which is the weirdest thing to do, because if I was sitting here like this trying to act like I was crying, that would be so weird. So I think live action has kind of crossed over into voiceover acting in a way that I have to bring my whole body into it. Even though nobody's seeing me, I have to really use my physicality to bring that emotion into my voice. And so they've taught me so many different things about the other, and it's been an incredible learning experience.
Is there a Marvel character you want to play in live action, be it Riri or anyone else?
Riri, of course. I would die if I could play Riri in live action. That would be so incredible. I mean, being able to voice her is already a blessing in itself. So if I were to go that other step, that would be really, really cool. But also, I mean, Spider-Man is an amazing character as well, and Ghost Spider in the Secret Warriors in Marvel Rising, she is so incredible. I love Dove Cameron. She's done an incredible job with Ghost Spider, so I think that would also be a really fun play.
Thank you so much.
Sophia, congratulations.
Good times.
Okay, so now we just go
Oh.
This is it for you today?
For me today, I'm flying back this afternoon, so
Oh, wow.
I had a couple of things this afternoon. I was like, I'm not flying out tomorrow morning.
people saying that name.
Which one?
Reby. Reby.
Yeah.
Reby.
We have
Am I-
Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this afternoon, and before that, there's this Christian group downstairs. I think it's Geeks for God. So,
They were
so
passing stuff out this
They were passing out water and stuff. Yeah.
How
And
was Justice League?
Justice League was so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are Geeks for God less annoying than the?
Well, they're not
the
annoying.
Clippers?
They're the antithesis of the Hellfire Brimstone people.
Oh man, those people were loud on Friday. Like,
Were they? I didn't
yeah,
even hear 'em.
They were out here. Like, so when I came
They were
out
loud
of the
yesterday,
Token
too.
Bagger room, I could hear it. As I was walking back through the building, like all the way until I got to the convention center, I could still hear them out there.
They were worse yesterday.
Were they?
During I guess I was out here for the Tick.
Mm-hmm.
They were still out there, and I wanted to struggle.
They have their convictions.
Yep, they're just doing what they believe.
Wish I could steal their megaphone.
I was just surprised they were allowed to be that loud. I guess they were standing in like a public area.
I guess technically it's public. I guess it's technically like public assembly.
Yeah, 10 feet away. So long as they don't incite a riot or touch anybody, then
Yeah. Well,
that's the law.
because I guess public property is defined as like any like sidewalks, like outside sidewalk. I
Yep.
guess is technically public property.
Yeah.
So you can.
So I think it's a minimum of 2 feet away from the building. So unless you're in LA, then you got to
That's
go
why-
stand in the middle of the street to have a cigarette.
That's why you can. That's why you can like film outside an embassy if you're on a public
Right.
sidewalk,
Yeah,
even though they don't like that. Or
that's the rules.
you can break the license plate readers on the public trees outside the Church of Scientology.
They have their own interesting situations over there. So
License plate readers?
I saw this video once where these people, they were walking around on the street outside the Church of Scientology, and they have some sort of things on the trees, the public trees outside, some sort of equipment that they broke, and they called the police on them, and the police couldn't do anything because it's technically public property, and they're not allowed to have.
yeah, you're not allowed to have surveillance cameras
You're
on
not allowed
property.
surveillance equipment on public property. The implication was it was a license plate outside the church. I don't know what they do in there.
Yeah, if it was attached to their building, they can do it, but they can't do it in the middle of the street. People are interesting.
There's a lot of secrecy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Sure. My name is Court Lane. I'm executive producer on the Marvel Rising Specials, but I also am senior vice president of family entertainment, which means working on animation and co-productions and things with Lego, but also theme parks and cruise ships.
And you don't sleep at all.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of sleep. This is all day Red Bull.
Court. So the Fox acquisition is official now. What do you think?
I think it's awesome.
I thought you were going to lead with Howard the Duck. I didn't think you were.
Oh yeah, so the Hulu, Howard the Duck, and all those.
I don't work on those.
So you're not involved.
And
with
there's nothing I could say. Simply God, I don't work on
Okay.
those.
So how's it like being Marvel and Rising?
So I work with a current series team, a development team, and a production team. And I cannot tell you how all three teams are so proud of the work that we're doing. You know, yes, we just make superhero cartoons, but through shows like this and Black Panther, we feel like we're telling important stories. We're presenting to young people that being a superhero isn't about punching people, but it's about using whatever skills you have and whatever smarts you have to make the world a better place. And sometimes that requires being a better friend and being a teamwork and learning to work with people who are different than you. maybe I'm a cornball, but I think it's pretty awesome that we get to do that.
Is there any thought on what will happen next with the Marvel Rising brand? Do you want to do more movies, or would you like an episodic series with Disney Plus coming around?
Right now, we are very satisfied with telling individual stories of varying lengths that really hone in on certain characters while seeing all the team grow and change. And we will have announcements of a batch of those that are coming at the panel today.
How does that affect the storytelling? Because you'll have an hour and a half movie here, a half-hour episode there, going back and forth and keeping with the consistency of the formula.
I don't think we have to be consistent, and I think that we're in a world now where most kids watch content on digital platforms, especially YouTube. Length is not essential, so we get some sort of freedom to tell the story that we think a character and a plot deserves, and character development that we want to explore in whatever length we think is right for that.
And what character would you like to explore that you haven't yet? That you'd like to bring into the Marvel Rising world?
Okay. There's one that I want that is in production right now, which you'll hear about later, but one that has not been done yet that I'm interested in is Kate Bishop as Hawkeye.
Court, do you have an update on Mission Breakout and more episodes of Mission Breakout?
Yes, more episodes of Mission Breakout are coming in May, and it's a storyline called Black Vortex, where each of the Guardians gets sent into different dimensions. They're sort of escaping the Collector after the events of the ride in the Mission Breakout half season before it. And they go into dimensions that are animated in completely different styles. Gorgeous animation. We can't wait to share it, and that starts in May.
How do you compartmentalize your storytelling with the animation and family entertainment? I mean, you have Mickey and the Racers, you have this, you have DuckTales and so on and so forth, but you have to go from one series to the next and put yourself in the mindset for each one.
Well, we're fortunate in that Marvel is really like Pixar. Not at all like Pixar, but like Pixar in that we are a separate business unit. And so we just focus on our franchises or the stories that we want to tell. And we have a mission statement. We understand what the Marvel brand is to consumers. And it's not just big action. It's about characters that you can relate to, that live in the real world, and there's humor. And then we have sort of our character priorities. And then as a team, we sort of push through characters that we think it's important for kids to see. And we have a lot of leeway from Marvel New York to do so.
The finale of Black Panther's quest got really intense, and it took, I think, the show, to a place it had never really been before.
Yeah.
What was sort of the mindset in taking it more in that? Because it was very rewarding, with the drama with Hunter and Madame Mask, for that matter, and her whole thing with Hawkeye was very intense as well. So I guess what was the mindset, and does anyone get to take the credit for taking the show in that direction?
I think Harrison Wilcox, who has been with Marvel for a very long time and worked on the Avengers show for a very long time. And so while this season is a spinoff, we wanted to wrap up some of the emotional arcs of the Avengers characters from previous seasons. But yeah, it was very intense. We wanted to flip the script. And we spent much of the season with T'Challa being overprotective of Shuri. And then at the end of the day, he sort of really struggles. First of all, he loses the crown, and then he really struggles to deal with the losses and the things that are happening around him. And in Shuri, he steps up, and all this time he's like, "You're not ready. You're too young." And she's like, "No." And at the end, she becomes the queen of Wakanda. She's the one who figures it all out. And we thought that was a really and he'll get his mojo back and find his way. But to be able to tell that story where Shuri becomes queen of Wakanda, I think is fantastic. Any other Marvel Rising questions?